series, especially for you guys that have wanted to do property investment for a while and you've been wondering how do you get started. I'm just going to go through this. Like I promised, actually, that this would be pretty sweet and short. And when you want to catch the session after we do this training, you're going to have to come. I mean, when you want to catch the rest of the session, you're going to have to come and join us over in our group, Mastering High Yield Real Estate Investment. So if you're not yet there, then please be sure to, try and find it. Now, the thing is, I just want to make sure, I think I see that my computer is running a little slow. So give me a second. I want to quickly make sure we have everything that we need and we're not dragging behind, okay? But as you check it, please say hi because this is live as always. And if you have any questions, you can post them in the comments below and I will be sure to get back to you guys. Okay, great. Today's going to be a very interactive, it's going to be an actual, I'm giving you lots of actionable things you can take away with. I'm showing you one of the favorite tools we use for, starting to know where you can, show you where you can invest, pretty much which location that you want to invest in. Okay, so stay tuned. We won't take too long. So let me just switch on over to our presentation. And I also want to check and see, maybe you guys would be able to, I just want to see if I can be able to show picture in picture, seeing, it's like this is also so new, but don't worry. I think you guys will be able to get everything that we need. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine. I think so. You don't really need to see my face. I'll have figured out how to show you my face by tomorrow. Okay, great. So here we are with the training today. I'm going to be taking you through this session on how to start six-figure real estate investing. Okay. And this is for you, even if you have never, ever done this before, and even if you live abroad and you're doing it all 100% virtually. Like I said, this is for you. If you're an African expatriate or even a professional from any country living abroad and you're ready to grow your real estate investments in Africa in the coming year, and you need a clear strategy to get there because your current strategy is not getting you any closer. And the fact that you're away from your home country where you want to invest only makes it worse. And look, you know what? We are getting people who are not from the continent of Africa, but do want to invest back in Africa. So this is not to lock you out. This is to let you know you're in the right place, okay? And if you're ready to invest or buy a property in Africa in the coming year and you need a clear strategy to get it to pay for itself, this is awesome for you. Or if you've tried everything, and you just can't seem to make any progress and you're ready to get some help so that you can get moving today and start without even purchasing property using cash flow strategies to save towards your property, okay? Now, in this series, this is what we're going to cover. On day one, which is today, we're going to cover how to choose the best location that will bring you returns without investing in a white elephant that will just take money away, okay? And then we're also going to talk about how you can analyze property as the foundation. It is such an important foundation to implementing a high yield strategy and to triple or quadruple your rental income and the returns from your property in Africa. And we're also going to talk about the little known strategy that other property owners are using to get high yield rents for their properties straight out of the gate and getting a cash flow from it without breaking a sweat, right? And in the series on day 3, we will cover how to get financing and other support that you need for your dream property, even if everyone tells you it's impossible, and how to do this even while you live abroad, okay? And to round it off, by the way, I'll be telling you how to super speed your outcomes through the help from our trusted networks of experts who are skilled really in the real estate investment, and so you can just cut down your time, your costs, and just a headache. We all know the headache that can be spent in all steps of any type of investment process, really, and how much more involved it is when it comes to real estate. And this is through our starting six-figure investment pack, okay, where you get to partake in our premium trainings for a fraction of the cost for a limited time, people. This is coming to you. But my promise to you is that, you know what? You will have a crystal clear roadmap to making six-figure rental revenue from your property in your first 2 years, and how to reinvest it into your next property if you want, okay? But, first, I just want to take a second and check in with you to see, actually, not even check in with you, but to let you know who I am and why you should even listen to me, before we go much further, this is who I am. Let me introduce myself to you so that you know why you should listen to me, really. I mean, my name is Jackie Tsuma, and I make six-figure returns in dollars from my real estate investments in the first 2 years of running them, and now help people implement the exact system to do the same with their properties. And I founded the first ever diaspora homeownership virtual summit back in 2017, and I'm a diaspora too, an expatriate, and I've lived out of my home country for over 10 years. Actually, by now it's actually more like 17 years, working with international organizations, okay? And you know how we discovered the first steps? We struggled to get started. That's the truth of it. We didn't know where to start, who to go to, what to choose. And I talk a bit about this, in some of my blog posts. But you know what? We forged ahead. And in faith, 2 years later, and more like $10,000 in mistakes later, we finally emerged on the better side of the home ownership journey. Then, we quickly realized that we were not alone. Other people were yearning for this information, for those networks. There was a yawning gap for just for this information, and the people, most of those who are targeting diaspora investors, they're not diaspora themselves. So how could they know the issue? They never had to scratch it, and we just couldn't believe the outdated strategies that others were recommending. You know what? It's so outdated. There's so many that just don't work, and they're not working. We decided enough is enough. We distill the steps we have taken to get success into these 5 steps, okay? But what I'm going to talk about first is how do you find the perfect location for your property? Because this is actually the crux of the matter, you guys. It's the number one question we get from newbie investors is, how do you know what property will bring you the best returns? And that's it. You actually don't want to get started with a property that is not going to bring you returns, because obviously what's going to happen is you're going to stuck with something which is just not fulfilling your needs, basically, right? So this is going to be really good for you, because we're being very practical. We're actually here to help you figure that out, okay? First, actually, before we go through that, you have to understand the model we're using. It's a high-yield real estate investment model, okay? And what it is basically how much rent you're making off your property yearly in proportion to the value of your property. This is when you are purchasing property, okay? And the old way, by the way, that a lot of people know about is that you buy land, you buy cash, you buy slowly, you build slowly, let's say. You move in halfway through the building for extra points. This is what our parents did, and how they invested and built their real estate investments. Or what a lot of people are doing now is buying with financing, rent it out long term, or move in, then pay your mortgage for 25 years and never really finish paying it, because, look, if you have a 25% mortgage, it's basically doubling every 4 years. And that's really the current interest rate in most countries at the moment, okay? But our model, when you're looking to buy or get cash flow, it differs, okay? And we'll be talking a lot more about that. But for those looking to buy, yield is basically how much rent you're making off your property in proportion to the value of your property, like I said. And what that looks like is, you have your rental yield. Let me go back there. You have your rental yield is the monthly rent multiplied by 12 months in a year. You divide that by the total purchase price of property, okay? And really, ultimately, what it looks like with long-term rental, when you calculate it, at best, you'd get a rental yield of 3.5%. If you're lucky, you definitely do not get cash flow. You actually have negative cash flow in most cases. And then you're also living hand to mouth, because you're still paying off your mortgage from your pocket. You're getting practically no money from this supposed investment, okay? But the new way that we're talking about is that, as we talked about, they get you just about 3.4%, right? 6 months, if you want to be able to get a kind of return that you like, it would be impossible. But with this system, you could, for example, get 1,000 ROI and more with those kinds of returns. I mean, really, how many months would you need to be able to finally buy the property of your dreams, right? And like I said, in 6 months tops, you can have your cash flow that will put you in an income bracket to be able to get financing. And banks want to see 6 months of income history, even less time if you run the system full throttle, right? So the new way, like I said, it's actually utilizing high yield rentals through short term, with Airbnb and different sites. If you look at it in 2017, Airbnb hosts in Africa, they made 139 million. This is according to quartz.com. Okay. And it's up 110% in Africa. Annual guest numbers more than doubled from 2017 to 2018. Okay, as you can see. And actually, one thing that's interesting, South Africa does have a lot of Airbnb business, and we'll talk a bit about some of the numbers that we're seeing. In essence, they made most of the income that was back in 2018. But you also can see that, tourist hubs like Cape Town are popular, Morocco is also popular, and Kenya ranked third after Morocco, and Nigeria is also growing, okay? But the funny thing about it is, okay, how do you know what type of property to choose? And that's what we want to talk about today, that they feel so different. Look at this. This is the most wish-listed property in Kenya. It is a brandy bus, renovated bus in a quiet paradise. Like, it feels like, how would you ever be able to find and choose a property that would bring you returns like this one? You know what I mean? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. And check this out. This is the most wish-listed property in Ethiopia. And really, the lovely African room, right? And it's so interesting. Again, really random. You have no idea. What is it? This is the most wish-listed in Rwanda. Check it out. Bedroom in an art gallery. So random. So how do you find your perfect property? Well, good news is that we do have a tool that we use, and I want to share that tool with you today. And like I promised, the training would be super, super actionable. So here we are. The tool that we use is called AirDNA, okay? airdna.com. I'm just going to switch there so that you guys can take a look. In fact, I'll just walk through some of the major properties, major hubs that we've been looking at in within Africa. Okay, you'll be so surprised. These numbers are super surprising, but this is a tool you can use free. Of course, you can also unlock it by paying some more, but it's a great tool. And I'm also going to tell you what are some of the other tools we use, and how you can get access to some of those. Okay, and DNA is just one of them. We actually use quite a few others. Okay, so here is a look at Nairobi. AirDNA, actually it's airdna.co. Okay, if you look at Nairobi, it gives you rental demand at about 29. This is the thing that AirDNA gives you. You just search the city there, right? And this is the city of Nairobi. Average daily rate is $51. In October it was 55. September it's going to 48. One can actually, I think that this information, if you try to go deeper, it sometimes needs you to make a purchase. Yes, absolutely. It is totally locked, right? It might show you a little bit more information. I mean, I have actually had a subscription for this in the past, just in order to get me some useful analysis background, right? So, but then the occupancy rate has been, it was 27% in October, and it's rising to about 55% in December, and on average is 45%. And then the revenue, that's what they make on average. This is an average for an Airbnb host in a month. Not in a month, sorry. It's the average revenue in a year. As you can see, no, it does seem to be in a month. Check it out. Let's just quickly have a look there real quick. There you can see here occupancy rate. Yeah, actually it's per month, because you can see October 245, and then you can see in December it was 527, right? Okay, now it's you can see also the distribution. And if you do want to look at neighboring locations to Nairobi, for example, maybe you want to look in maybe in Kiambu. I just clicked on it and now it's reloading to show you Kiambu. That's 4,000. It was 4,000 rentals in Nairobi Central, but Kiambu has 420 rentals. So it just shows you the breakdown: how many homes, how many private rooms, the rental size, how most of them, you see most of them are 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom, Here's the rental growth, as you can see, all the way from 2017 and how that's grown. And now actually you can see from here that from quarter four in 2019 to quarter one in 2020, there was a dip there, but this is Kiambu. Hold on, let me look back. And this is all in Kenya, right? We're going to look at a few other cities in Kenya, and then we'll move on to a few of the cities around Africa. Okay. So while it loads up again the Kenyan market, I think, yeah, while it loads up the Nairobi market once more, yeah, we want to highlight the number of active rentals, and it just go ahead and play around with this. You'll see what has been so actually you can see that yes, there was a drop between quarter one and quarter four in 2019 and quarter one in 2020, which is really interesting. A lot of maybe hosts pulled off, but now we're beginning to see a rise. Okay, people are beginning to come back on, and some of the amenities, the rental activity, and that type of thing. Okay, just play around with it. We'll move on to another city within another area within no, that's Nairobi again, within Kenya. Let's look at Mombasa. I find this also interesting. You see that the average daily rate is a little higher, however, the occupancy rate is a little lower, and average revenue is similar, because I think the average rate being higher and the occupancy rate being lower. Again, occupancy rate, remember, it's about how many days out of 30, how many days in a month out of 30 do you have your property rented? 15 out of 30 days is 50%, that type of thing. This would be probably over the year. No, this is definitely per month, because you can see December 39%, October 14%. So there's a rise in occupancy. Okay, then we go ahead and look real quick. Kwale is where we also have our property, Diani, and this is very interesting. Kwale has actually higher, almost double the rental daily rate than the other properties. It's a holiday destination, and we tend to see that occupancy rate, however, is lower. But what happens is the revenue does tend to be higher. Okay, so Kwale is where Diani is, and you tend to find that when you have a leisure location, it's very possible that the leisure location will see more seasonal revenues. So December is definitely seeing more revenues, okay, because of the seasons and that type of thing. Okay, but just going at very interesting. I mean, we're gonna delve more a little bit into this when we're looking at how to also analyze property. That's Nakuru. Now let's jump into Johannesburg in South Africa. Average daily rate is $44, and then you can see it also is seasonal in a bit. December will be a bit higher because it's warm weather down there. And then you see occupancy rate is also seasonal. July is also low is a cold season, but it could also be corona, who knows. But then December is jumping up. This is the average revenue per month. It's got 4,328. It's very interesting to see how many. Nairobi and Johannesburg do have pretty much similar number of rentals. When we go to Kwale, you'll see it has much less active rentals. And then Mombasa, also in between. Okay. Now that is Johannesburg, guys. It's a good place. It's a good location, right? And again, like I said, tomorrow we'll be looking at how to actually analyze how you can be able to make the best from any property. Great. And then this is in Kigali, in Rwanda. Now, this is an amazing location, a place we're also working with our clients in. And you can see it's got crazy rates. Check it out. Average daily rate. And this is in the city, is $100. The average occupancy is actually 68%. But this 68% is above average. Most average places will have 50% and below. Of course, when we work with our clients, we find our clients tend to have higher than average just because of how good they are at the work that they do, and at the work of how good they are, how well we have them implement. And then revenue here is 13,000. I mean 1,300 monthly revenue on average. It's really good. May is super high. I mean, there must be something happening in May, but let's just say this is a hidden gem, people. It's a hidden gem, right? That's something that a lot of people can benefit from. Let's take a look at Cape Town. This was Cape Town also in South Africa. You're seeing average daily rate also higher than the average city rate, which is 85. Now remember that sometimes you notice from places like this, I'll just highlight, you find a lot more places will have the entire home rather than a private room, this is in Cape Town. I would say if you compare Cape Town and Johannesburg, a lot more places would have a private home rather than the entire home rather than a private room for security. If you look here in Kigali, interestingly enough, private room is more popular than entire home. Okay. When you look definitely in Kwale, that one I knew is already most popular is entire home because you have families coming for vacation. In Nairobi, it could be again, as you can see. So these are all very interesting dynamics that help you determine the best place to rent out a property. I mean, the best place to actually have an investment, and we'll be talking more about that tomorrow. Okay. I took a look also at Port Elizabeth, average daily rate, occupancy rate, and average earning. Still quite good, very seasonal. December is 798, May is 144. Okay. This is all really good stuff, guys. I hope that you're getting value from this because this is like right from our vault, right from our own training vault. The way that we help our clients is really figure out the way in which where it is that they can put the property investments. Now here we have here Accra. Funny enough, I actually want to go into Accra Center. I think I chose Eastern region here, but I want to go right into Accra Center, not East, not Ghana East. Let me just go back to I was looking at Eastern Accra Metropolitan. Okay, let's go right back to Accra Metropolitan, and you'll see again the differences that arise. Okay, then I think finally we'll probably take a look at like another city. We can take a look at probably Lagos, and then so here you can see also average daily rate pretty high, occupancy, as well as could be expected at the moment, and then revenue it's also not too bad. Again, you can see what's more popular in the city. And then let's take a look at Abuja, where I am at the moment. Average daily rate, although I feel that these are pretty low, that it tends not to be that low. Generally, I feel like there's a lot higher rates that are being done, that are being requested in the region. Let me just take a look at Lagos. Very interesting to see. Always nice to look at capital cities first because it's a good benchmark. So compared to the 700 active rentals in Abuja, you have 1875 active rentals in Lagos. Average daily rate is higher. Occupancy rate pretty similar, and therefore average revenue is pretty similar. Great. Well, so we've taken a look at that. Let me take us back to our presentation. Oh, hold on. That's the wrong one. Just a second. Yeah, figuring out this whole. I think this should be it. Yes, there we go. So finding your DNA is awesome for finding your perfect property. This is really actionable. You guys can walk out today and really be able to take a look and see what kind of area, what place would you want to start. Okay. And then, we've taken a look at different markets, but what we're going to do next session is learn how to analyze a property, right? You found out what is the location. Now, how do you choose between apples and oranges and all sorts of different things? How do you select the one that you're going to run with? Okay, that's very important because you really don't want to be at a place where you've made the wrong choice and now you're trying to probably try and make lemonade out of lemons. You want to get it right from the word go. Sorry, I'm trying to, in case you're hearing any sound issues, I'm trying to fix a problem with my mic real quick so that I can be able to go back. Let me put my camera back on. Okay. Yeah, so that's it, you guys. It went a bit longer. I promised to only take 10 minutes, but I hope that you found such good value. And like I said, you know what? Another thing that we've discovered is that a lot of these things, it just from this session, I know that your mind has been opened a lot, and I can imagine how much more our clients who work with us over a 3-month period get such revelations. What I'm going to be doing is tomorrow, I'm going to tell you all about our starting 6-figure investment pack, which we're for the first time ever making available to you at, it's the core of our premium program, making it available to you at a much more reduced rate. so that you can get started. You can realize the roadblocks you've been imagining that you had for getting your property investments going don't exist anymore. Okay, that what you've always wondered, is this really working? Guess what? It is. Okay. So I'm going to be telling you more about that tomorrow. Do be sure to catch it. If you're watching this on any other platform other than our group, Mastering High Yield Real Estate Investment, this was just a teaser. The rest of the sessions 2 and 3 are going to be happening in our group. So make sure to click. Oh, I'm going to have to make available the link. Oh, let's do this. Go to bit.ly/get freedom group. Okay, that should be it. bit.ly/get freedom group in order to just join in our group and watch the rest of the sessions. Okay, you know what, you don't want to miss it, because actually I'm going to be giving you guys our script that we give our clients to use in order to negotiate with potential property owners on how, so that they can use their properties to get started on their journey without having to purchase. Okay, so that's going to be yours completely for free. Join the group. Make sure to check in on it. It's only available for the next few days, people. So please don't wait. Looking forward to having you. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to put any questions you have below, and I'll be sure to respond to them as well after the training, or in tomorrow's training as well. Okay. Bye bye. Have a great one.